Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in our community. We are so grateful to those who have been father to us in our lives. Our biological and adopted fathers, foster parents, grandparents, siblings, uncles and aunts, teachers and coaches, and others, regardless of gender identity, who have been father to us. What a treat it is for me to be here today and to share some comments with you this morning. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Who has been father to you? How have you been fathered? What difference has fathering made for you? As Father has loved me, so I love you. When I consider who has been father to me, I immediately think of my dad, my siblings, Anne, Clark, and Jim, and I were remarkably blessed to have a biological dad who was and continues to be a wonderful father. He married a native New Yorker with a strong voice who was best friends with Helen Mannix and worked to amplify her voice throughout their marriage. I have so many loving memories of Dad, but the one that comes to mind most often is the story he told me every year on my birthday. He would remind me I was born on the Feast of the Transfiguration during a vicious thunderstorm. In his recounting during the birthing process, the heavens opened and brought forth the sun, revealing the glory of God. That story added a little twist. The way he told it, I was the transfigured one. In reflecting on this story and on his fathering, Dad revealed to me, I am sacred. I participate in Christ, in God. Oh my, like that's heady stuff, right? Really heady stuff. Lest I get too caught up in how uniquely special I was, I could see he viewed my mom, Anne, Clark, and Jim as sacred as well. In fact, he viewed all persons, family, friends, those in the neighborhood, at work and beyond, everyone as sacred. What a gift he gave to us. So I can think of so many others who have been fathered to me, who have enabled me to complete the circle of divine love in my life. I realize that fathering can come where you least expect it. I'd like to tell you about Jimmy, who went in my life just a few years ago. During that time, I would often run in the morning before work on the Schuylkill Trail. In descending the stairs to get to the trail, I often passed a man about my age who was doing elaborate stretching exercises on the steps. To be honest, I thought he seemed a little odd. Although he was friendly to others, I was reluctant to engage with him. One day I decided to connect with him, and we quickly became friends. Jimmy was there virtually every day. Every time Jimmy saw me, he became excited. Tom, you look great. I certainly didn't feel that great that early in the morning. I often felt cold, still a little tired, and looking for excuses not to run. Jimmy rarely talked about himself. He always asked about me and listened carefully to what I had to say. I knew Jimmy lived in West Philly and grew up in Philly. I'm sure he was the victim of deeply entrenched redlining practices and racial segregation since his childhood in the 1950s. Another thing I knew about Jimmy is that he liked coffee. So one chilly day, I brought Jimmy a cup of hot coffee. I was surprised when he became upset when I gave him the coffee. He told me that drinking coffee was going to make him pee, and there was no place in the area to pee. But you know what? Against his will, Jimmy drank the cup. He drank it for me. Through my many encounters with Jimmy, in my ordinariness, Jimmy enabled me to believe I am sacred. I participate in Christ and God. One day, Jimmy revealed to me that his body was riddled with cancer. I encouraged him to get medical care, but he told me he didn't trust doctors or the health system. Jimmy kept showing up on the stairs for about 6 more months, and then I no longer saw him. I think of Jimmy often. He still lives with me. Thinking about Jimmy reminds me of how much I am loved, that I am sacred. Who has been father to you? Who has been Jimmy to you? How have you been fathered? How are you being fathered? What difference has fathering made in your life? As Father has loved me, so I love you. The only command of Father is love one another as I have loved you.